Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, dear speakers, I think we will start our webinar, which is dedicated to Cherkasy region business potential. My name is Natalia Grishenko. I'm a Deputy Managing Director of AHK Ukraine, German-Ukrainian Chamber of Industry and Commerce. We are now continuing the series of webinars on unlocking investment and business opportunities of Ukraine's regions and cities. Our goal is to show that even despite the challenges of war and problems that companies may face, Ukraine is still the country of great potential and big economic opportunities for business. This is the fourth webinar in the series, and this time we want to dedicate it to Cherkasy region. Cherkasy region and the administration of Cherkasy is a partner of AHK Ukraine. This region has actually developed agricultural economy, and particularly farming. In this region, companies grow wheat, corn, sunflowers, and sugar beets. In addition, there are enterprises also in textile, food, machine building industries. A few words about our webinar today. Today we will hear, as usual, the presentation from the region administration with the overview of Cherkasy region economic potential, and hear a little bit on the current ongoing projects and planned projects in the region. As well, we'll also hear inputs from two business representatives, basically German business representatives in the agricultural industry. It's Dukra, Agro, and Kyshchentsi. We're really pleased to have both of you here today with us. And in the end, we will have 10 or 15 minutes for Q&A session. So now I'm really happy to welcome our first speaker, Mr. Oleksandr Turcheniak, the Deputy Head of Cherkasy Regional State Administration. And we will now see the presentation of Mr. Oleksandr. And Mr. Oleksandr, the floor is yours. You can now start with your presentation of the region. Thank you.
Partners, representatives of German-Ukrainian Chamber of Industry and Commerce, and representatives of German businesses. Thank you for the opportunity to present the investment potential of Cherkasy region today. It's very important for us, not just a representation, but as an opportunity to strengthen the economic cooperation between Ukrainian and German regions. Cherkasy Oblast is a region with a real business prospects. Why it was investing in Cherkasy region? Cherkasy Oblast is a region with a well-balanced economic model. We can boast of an equally strong agriculture sector, food industry, developed chemical industry, machine engineering, and wood processing. So the economy of region doesn't depend on a single sector. Moreover, the region actively integrates into European markets. Our enterprises have experience of work in the EU, they meet the European standards, are ready for cooperation and production localization. German business is one of the key partners. 20 companies with German investment are already working in the region, and we want this number to grow. No more reason to invest here is the support offered by Ukrainian state and local administration. We don't just create favorable conditions. We organize a special accompanying. We are with you, starting from the site selection and ending with connection utilities and obtaining all the necessary permits. Population and total area. The area of Cherkasy region is nearly 21,000 square kilometers. The population over 1.2 million people. It's a well-balanced labor market. We have young specialists, experienced workers, and a large-skilled workforce, full amount internally displaced persons, IDPs. 66 territorial communities create a flexible local governance system. 69% of the territory is covered by agricultural land, meaning almost unlimited access to raw materials for processing. Geographical locations and logistics. Cherkasy region is the center of Ukraine. This makes logistics cheaper, faster, and more predictable. We are 190 kilometers away from Kyiv, about 400 away from the seaports, and about 700 away from the EU border. The region is crossed by the key international and national highways and railways. We also have a river transport potential. That's why Cherkasy region is ideally suited for the establishing logistics centers, export-oriented production facilities, and enterprises that require access to multiple transportation routes. Economic development and industry. Our region is constantly among Ukraine's top 5 industrial regions. We provide 3.8% of the total Ukrainian industrial products volume. The industry structure demonstrates diversification. A strong industrial foundation provides reliability for investors. You enter an environment that is already working rather than building everything from scratch. Exports, geography, and spheres. Cherkasy region exports its products to over 120 world countries. The main markets are the EU countries. When it comes to sectoral structure of exports, 81.8% of exports belongs to agriculture, 7.3% to food industry, 3.3% to wood processing. 74% of exported services belong to the IT sector. We have strong digital skills, not just manufacturing capabilities. Direct foreign investments. 185 companies with foreign investment from 39 different countries work on the territory of Cherkasy region. The direct investment in 2024 increased by 17.6%. During the war, it's an indicator that the foreign business trusts us. The main investors: Cyprus, Germany, Czech Republic, France, Luxembourg, Switzerland. And it's an important signal. Foreign businesses are not just entering the market, they stay and increase their investments. Mineral resources and industrial parks. On the territory of region, there are deposits of titanium, kaolin, sand, clay, crushed stone, and refractory materials have been exploited. This is an opportunity to develop construction, chemical, and machine engineering industries. 3 industrial parks have been created in the region. This year, the first private industrial park Biosense have been established. They have already started building the first French fries factory in the Ukraine there. The project is implemented together with international partners and technical support from UNIDO. We support this project and are interested in ensuring it receives state incentives, taxes and incentives for investors. Ukraine has a law that allows investors to import equipment duty-free, import equipment without paying VAT, receive corporate income tax benefits for 5 years, conclude special investment agreements. These are real incentives already used by companies. The text is transparent and clear. VAT 20%, corporate profit tax 18%, unified social contribution, this is employers' payroll tax for social protection, 22%. The state also support investment project with significant investment. Project value from 12 million euros, duration up to 5 years. One of such projects is already being implemented in the region for production of high protein feed additives and animal fats. It's implemented by a company Feednova Center, part of the international EFI group. Cherkasy Regional State Administration accompanied this project from the idea stage to the approval of a special investment agreement with the government. We will continue supporting it at every stage. In total, 76 investment projects are being implemented in Cherkasy region. Labor market and workforce resources. The region has a stable labor market and huge skilled workforce reserve. Over 120,000 IDPs, youth looking for work in smaller cities, technical specialists. Competition for personnel is much lower than in Kyiv. Education and specialist training. Over 49,000 students annually. Strong universities train engineer technologies, IT specialists, agronomists, mechanics, economists, and logistics. Vocational schools train welder, lathe operators, machine operators, the specialist German businesses often seek. Tourism and new regional identity. Cherkasy region is a cradle of Ukrainian history. 9,000 heritage sites, including Holodny Yar, Buki Canyon, museums, theaters, festivals. The first settlement of the Tripila culture, considered as a proto-cities, appeared on the territory of Cherkasy region more than 5,000 years ago. This sector is actively developing. People are looking for domestic tourism, and the region already sees a growing flow of visitors from Kyiv, Dnipro, and Poltava. Priority investment directions. We identified directions where investments will bring the greatest effects. Niche mechanical engineering, raw materials processing, storage facilities, tourism, and recreation. Niche mechanical engineering, one of the most promising directions. Cherkasy region has enterprises that already manufacture special equipment, cisterns, platforms, trailers, utility and agriculture machinery. Today, demanding equipment, mobile chassis, and engineering platforms are especially relevant. For German businesses, this is an opportunity to localize component production with optimal costs. Agricultural raw materials processing. Cherkasy region produces more than it processes. This means the market for processing industries is open and highly promising. There is a demand for deep grain processing, production for protein concentrates, processing of vegetables, fruits, and berries, freezing and drying of products, vegetable and berry storage facilities. Ukraine has a storage of modern vegetable and fruit storage facilities. Our region has large agricultural volumes, but lacks modern logistics hubs. Promising investment spheres, controlled atmosphere storage, refrigeration complexes, integration with processing. Investors receive fast payback, stable demand, and guaranteed supply. Small hotels and camping sites. Demand for domestic tourism is growing. People from Kyiv and other cities are looking for short 1-3 days trips, small hotels, glamping sites, eco-farmstead are formats that pay off quickly. Communities are ready to offer land in beautiful locations. Our companies. Many enterprises of the region already work with European partners. Their producers, mechanical engineering companies, chemical enterprises, and logistics operators. We are ready to organize B2B meetings and invite businesses for individual visits. Dear representatives of German business, thank you for your attention, time, and interest in our region. We are ready to cooperate with you, and if needed, we will accompany your projects from the first contact to the start of production. We will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oleksandr, for your impactful presentation, for your readiness to welcome German business. We as well want to have more German companies in Cherkasy region, and we will be happy to assist you with this. And for now, we will move to our next speaker. As you may see in the presentation, 80% of the export of the region is basically agricultural products. That is why it's not a coincidence that we have today two business representatives from agricultural industry. And now we want to welcome Mr. Kees Huizinga, director and founder of the company Kyshchentsi. And my question to Mr. Huizinga would be, could you please share with us the history of your company in Ukraine and in Cherkasy region? What actually brought you to Ukraine and how do you develop now? How do you feel, how your company feels now during this wartime period? Mr. Huizinga, the floor is yours, please. You're welcome.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure. I mean, I've been farming already now in Cherkasy Oblast for 23 years. We started the company started in 2001 and I joined in 2003. And yeah, back then it was relatively easy because a lot of land was still bare. So we could get it cheaply and we brought used machines from Germany. And we got a lot of support from the local authorities and from the oblast authorities because yeah, they needed the investment to develop. And everything worked out fine. We are still there. We are still developing. We are still expanding. And we still have the support of the local and the regional authorities. So we started with pure agriculture. So wheat, barley, corn, sunflowers, those kind of things. But after a few years, we also started developing additional value. So we added vegetables like onions and carrots and red beets to our crop rotation. But you need to store them as well. So we rebuilt old facilities from a sugar beet factory into storage houses, in warehouses with cooling and with ventilation. For this, you need additional electricity capacity because it consumes a lot of electricity, which was also relatively, you have to go through the procedures, but it was relatively easy to get more, how to call it, more kilowatts. And it's on the side of an old sugar beet factory, and we can still expand our storage in warehouses there. Parallel to this, we also developed our dairy farm. We started with an old dairy farm on the territory of an old kolkhoz with like 250 dairy cows. Everything which was on this site has already been taken down. And at the moment we are milking more than 2,600 cows with a modern rotary parlor with 80 places on it. We milk like 500 cows per hour. The milk production is 37 liters per cow per day. And it is still developing. When the war started, the full-scale invasion started nearly 4 years ago, we were still constructing, but then of course nobody knew really what was going to happen, so we stopped our construction. But like after half a year, when we saw that the Ukrainian army was really defending Ukraine very well, we we got back, we got the confidence again, and we continued our construction of the dairy farm. That's also my point of view, of my opinion. Not everybody will sit on the front line defending physically our country. We are developing the economics of the country, we're adding value to our agricultural products. In this way, we make more money, we can pay more tax, we can do more voluntary support to the army. And the stronger the Ukrainian state is, the better it's able to defend itself. And we keep continuing doing this. At the moment, we are developing a site for young stock. We are building there. And then when we finish this dairy barn, it's now 2,600 cows, it will be 3,000. When it's finished, we will start at another location. So we will keep on investing. We're investing also in pigs. At the moment, we have 1,700 sows. And the idea is also to grow this business for the same reasons as I just mentioned before. And on top of this also provides jobs for the local people, which is, I think, also very important. And we couldn't do this without the support of the local and regional authorities.
Thank you very much for sharing with us. Do you feel, Mr. Kees, the problem of lack of workforce in the region, or is it okay for your?
It is not easy, of course, because a lot of guys, mainly guys, they have to go to the army, and unfortunately we need this. But I'm very grateful to those people. So yeah, without those guys, we wouldn't be able to farm. And yeah, there's also people, especially young people, they're leaving abroad to find a mainly low-skilled job in distribution centers or in agriculture or those kind of jobs. So that's kind of a pity. But on the other side, that's also a challenge for us, and an opportunity for the local people to make more money. We have to train them better. We have to be more efficient with the people available. And the more efficient we are, the more money we make, the more we can share with our employees. So I don't like to think in problems. It's more like a challenge, and it's an opportunity for the people who stay behind in the area.
I see. Thank you very much. Thank you for what you do. And for now, I think we will move to the next speaker, and in the end, we will still have time for further questions. And for now, I'd like to welcome our next speaker, Mr. Matthias Wenzl, director and owner of the company Dukra Agro. Mr. Wenzl, I know that you have a couple of slides that you want to show us and present your company. So please, you're welcome. The floor is yours.
Okay. Are you able to start PowerPoint slides? Okay, thank you. There was a presentation available. We have been asked, I think, a few years ago to do a similar presentation, so it's very easy to use this to make a reuse of that. Could you switch to the presentation mode? Right downside. Natalia, can you hear me?
Katerina, you're sharing, yes?
But I have this small technical.
Presentation mode is right downside. It's
No, I will not do it.
The speaker smaller? No, that's not presentation mode. It's right downside on the bottom line. And there's something like a presentation slide. Yeah. It's on the. Oh, nice. Thank you very much. So again, hello and a warm welcome from my side. I'm really honored to present us and our company. And we are as long in Ukraine since Kees, and not really far away, since 2003. And yes, so it's 22 years, and I can tell you a lot of stories happened since time. Once I said all 3 months, a new story, a new challenge. and now, of course, the war is topping a lot. But anyway, we'll make it short today. If there are any questions and ideas for the future, starting business here in Ukraine, please feel free and contact us. So we have time and are really interested to come in contact. On the starting page here, I have a lot of nice pictures, especially of harvest time. Harvest time is the most amazing time where work from the whole gets rewarded. But of course, there are also other times when you have to invest, when you have to pool all of the resources, and when you have to throw out all your money into the field. And we have done this very often. So we can switch to the second one. I've prepared 3 topics, a short overview about here our company, then how to find, how to found a company in Ukraine, and aspects of financing. Again, it was an existing presentation. I think it has basic information for the questions today. Next slide. Dukra is the name of the German Deutsch-Ukrainische Agrargesellschaft, Dukra Agro. We founded it in 2003. That was on board my dad, I think the main and very important person, myself and my brother Johannes. Next slide. The ownership structure is or was, so in the past, of course, my dad, myself, and my brother for the German company, the German Investment GmbH. It's a very usual company or jurisdictional form. And then this company is owning, together with my dad and me, the Ukrainian company Dukra Agro. That's the structure. Next slide, please. Here in the Dukra Agro, the leadership is by my brother and myself. And then we have 3 very important people. In an Ukrainian company, you need 2 persons. That's the CEO and the chief accountant, the Hauptbuchhalter. And that, in our case, it is Oleksandr. Since 2003, for us, a very important and, to be honest, a very trustful person. Without him, without people like him, it is not possible to do a successful business as we are doing here. Second one is Valentin Varenikov. He is responsible for the agronomical production anyway. And then a new member, he is on board since 6 weeks or 4 weeks this time, because we're starting new business now. We are processing our grains, our harvest. We want to process it. We want to puff it and to provide it to the market at puff grains in the first step. And in a second step, yes, it's a very nice idea. The German University of Göttingen developed a new building material from puffed grain, from puffed corn. It was also presented by Germany in Osaka, in Japan, in the World Exhibition. And they say that is a way how to build houses and walls in the future by using ecological material and not to save CO2, to bind CO2 in all these buildings and materials. Yes, and that is our topic for the future. And therefore we have Grigory on board, and he's making a very good job. I'm just coming out of a meeting with him. Thank you. Next slide. Yes, we are located here, not far away from Kees, in the middle of distance between Kiev and Odessa, simply spoken, in Cherkasy Oblast, of course, near to the city of Uman. And there's a small town, it's called Mankivka, and Kees and his company is 10 kilometers in the west of Mankivka, and we are 10 kilometers in the east of Mankivka. So when I look out of the window, yeah, anyway, in this direction, there's a farm of Huizinga. Thank you. Next slide. Here I have a little overview about our area of our farm. The main part is in one village. It's called Rogi, and you see here the red circle that are 5 kilometers, and the rest is yes, a little bit more away. But anyway, it's here around this village, and we are really happy to able to work in this farm. and we are working on 4,000 hectares. Next slide, please. Here we have an overview of our products. So the most important is wheat, winter wheat, followed by sugar beets, rapeseed, corn, sunflowers, and barley. Yes. It changed a little bit from year to year, but in basic, this is a structure. Thank you. Next slide. Questions about company foundations, Ukraine. I try to give an answer or perspective. Let's change to the next slide. And now you have to click 5 times, please. Sorry for that. Bring it in points. Yeah, thank you. The first, of course, you have to set the location. In that case, today should be Cherkasy Oblast, and to give here an overview or an answer. We are really happy to be here. It's a good location, of course, not far away to the highway here for Odessa. There's a big region which is a little bit more far away, but anyway, it's in the middle of Ukraine, and it's a very good place here to do business, to found a company or to buy a company. In the process of starting here, yes, I go to the second part. In 2003, it was possible to found a new business and then to rent the land and everything else. I think today it's a little bit more complex. Of course, you can found a new one, but then you need to have an agreement with an existing company to buy it or to go into cooperation similar to that. Very important, I mentioned it already, is the management people and the staff. We have enough people. A few of them are in the war. One of them says it is an important part of his life. He's already 60 years, and he thinks his job is now to be in the war and to defend Ukraine. This is his sense. I think it is important, and we try to support people like this, of course, in the maximum possibility. Coming back here to the slide, when I have here management and staff, when I have the people, then I think I have to think about the financing, everything, machinery, equipment, operating, and resources. Then you go into the business, and here I think there are 3 parts: purchasing, manufacturing, and selling. And please be aware that completely different. You can be very successful in manufacturing, in doing the agribusiness, but then you have to sell it, and you can make a lot of mistakes. We made these mistakes in the past, especially in the beginning phase. We made business with the wrong people. We lost money. It was very critical, but we learned, and today I think we are successful, and we know how to do this business. Today it is working. Thank you. Next slide. I'm coming also already to the last point. The question is, what are the aspects of financing? Of course, you have to work with equity. You need equity, but it's also possible to get debt. I jump to the right side on the top to get debt with local banks and also with Western banks coming from Europe. Partly it is a new business for them, but we are located, especially in Austria. In the past, we have been very much more successful to work with Austrian banks than with German banks. German banks are asking, and people in Austria know the Eastern market, and there's a good possibility to organize also here money to support a business like this. Currency, of course, the local currency is the hryvnia, and the most of the main business is handled there. But we also are doing business in euro and dollar, especially when there is export business. And this is the basis of the contract and of the payment and everything else. Yes, and coming back to the production, I told it already. The first is the property, plant and equipment, and parallel to that, all the operating resources. That has to be organized. Yes, and then I'm already finished with my short presentation. but coming back, if there are any questions, we can discuss it now. But anyway, feel free also in future. If you have questions, if you need support, we are really happy to support and to help you and to be a contact person for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wenzl. By the way, we also visited one of the exhibitions where you presented this new construction material. It was quite interesting, quite new for us to see this and touch it, and it was really a really innovative approach. So I wish you also good luck with this project. And now I think we can open the Q&A session. And so we already have one question in the chat, and I think it may go to the both of our business representatives. So Mr. Kees, Mr. Matthias, do you consider to integrate some PV, solar or wind generation for your own consumption? Because obviously, the fuels, costs for fuels are growing, and do you consider some alternatives, energy resources?
Yeah. We already have solar panels on our dairy farm. I think it's about up to around 400 kilowatts at the moment. And at the moment, everything we produce, we consume on the dairy farm. Because especially when the sun is shining, it's hot, it's warm, so the cows need cooling. For the milking, you need cooling. So at the moment when we generate electricity, we also consume it. On top of this, we have on one side we have already installed batteries, because unfortunately, because of Russian aggression, electricity production is availability is limited. So we installed batteries. So instead of a generator, so when we don't have electricity, we're using the batteries, and that works pretty well, and especially in the summertime. And it's also connected to the solar panels. So in the summertime, during the day, we produce electricity, and during the night, we can consume it as well. So yeah, that's also kind of a challenge we turned into an opportunity. And parallel to this, next to our dairy farm, we are in the process of constructing a biogas plant, a biodigester. So to get the gas from the manure and turn it into electricity, which we will consume ourselves, or we can export it to the grid. And exporting it to the grid within a radius of, I think it's like 50 kilometers, you can use it on your other locations as well. So the arable farm is like 15 kilometers distance from the dairy farm. So, but the electricity we produce on the dairy farm, we can use on the arable farm, and you only pay for the transportation cost. So you don't pay for the electricity itself, or you pay it to yourself, so to say. So that's something we are working on now, and yeah, I think it's a big opportunity.
Thank you very much.
There's also a short answer from my side. For the moment, no, we don't have photovoltaic and wind energy, but we are thinking about that, especially here for the production of puffed grain. Therefore, we want to use photovoltaic. And regarding wind energy, we are in contact to a company who wants to make a bigger investment here in Ukraine, probably in our region. And I think we have to, wait after the war for this bigger investment. But from our side, for the moment, we are using official electricity when it's available. Actually, I have a view to my left, not far away, just around about 100 meters. There's a generator, and he's supplying now the electricity to make this call.
Yes, as a lot of us for today. Thank you for your answer. And one more question to you, Mr. Matthias. What financial mechanism do you use? What your company use? And what are the biggest challenges nowadays for you?
Yeah. The question is, how do we operate today and how we started 20 years ago? 20 years ago, I think there was equity needed in form for money or cash here to make the investment in Ukraine, and also equity security in Germany to use credit from a bank in Austria. That was our main basis to start the business here. Today, I think we are in a really happy situation. We have very much equity capital, very high level. I think we talk about more than 90%. So we are able to make further investments on a very good basis. But anyway, this new business, I get back here to Austria banks and ask for support, and it worked again very well. And for all the operational business here in Ukraine, we have very good partners in Kiev with the local banks.
And I think, yeah, thank you very much. Both companies export, yeah, out of Ukraine. Do you feel some problems now with the export, or maybe some queues on the border, or anything else?
No. It's mainly commodities like corn and wheat and barley and rapeseeds, which we export. And thanks to the Ukrainian army, the Russian Black Sea fleet is mainly destroyed, and the rest of what's left pulled back to the east side of the Black Sea. So the access to the Odessa ports and to the Black Sea ports is relatively safe, I would say. And the big grain ships, they are coming in and out, and yeah, so maybe the exporting has become $1 or $2 more expensive per ton, but we are more or less back again on the world market level concerning commodity prices, and I think most of Ukraine's production should go through the Black Sea, so it's very important that these ports stay open. And yeah, sometimes of course when you go by truck through the border, there's some queues, but there's electronic queues, so you don't really physically have to wait in front of the border. You know when your turn is, so then you can show up and more or less easily across the border. But yeah, borders in general are a headache. So that's the message I want to send to the German listeners and to all people in Europe. Be happy that the borders are open, because it's only good for business and for traveling.
Absolutely right. Thank you.
I agree from my side. Actually, it's working without any bigger problems. But it was a complete different situation 2 years ago, where the Black Sea was closed and there was no export, for example, from corn available. And then the prices here went down. It was very difficult to sell the products. But that's actually history. For the moment, it is working very well.
Thank you. Do we have the questions maybe to the region administration or some other questions? You can also raise them by yourselves, dear participants, by raising your hands, or put them into the chat. I will also add that we will share the presentations to the participants afterwards, if you don't mind that. And we'll also send you the follow-up as soon as possible. I don't see any questions. So I think, Katerina, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask one more question, if I can. Yeah, I wanted to ask you both, Kees and Matthias, what is the situation with the critical status for your companies? Do you have the critical status, and what is the situation with the reservation of your employees? Are you satisfied with it? Do you have any problems? How it worked for you?
It's a bureaucratic process, but you have to go through it, and it works fine. Of course, every now and then it changes a bit, but we adapt, and I think that's also in general the strengths of business, that you have to adapt to circumstances, and the circumstances in Ukraine are a little bit extreme at the moment. But businesses adapt, and also to this issue of reserving people, so they are they can work on the company and they're not being summoned to the army. So, and it's 50% of our employees are reserved, and that, yeah, unfortunately, it has to be this way, but it works fine. We don't have huge problems there.
No, it's very similar at our side. As I already mentioned, actually one person is in the war and he decided it for himself. He started at the beginning of the wars. I met him end of July this year. That was the second time since 3 years. Then he is back here in his village at his family. And he convinced me, he says it is his job to support. He is around about 15 kilometers behind the front line, and he is organizing a lot from the daily meal to munition and everything else. And again, it is his job. In maximum, in the first year, we have had 6 people in the war. One was injured, not dead, only injured, but they are back at the moment. And yeah, sorry, I hope the best. And that is one big sorrow we have. But doing business here, especially in the farming area, is a big challenge. Actually, we have problems with the weather conditions. We have troubles to finish our harvest with sugar beets. Usually the plan was to finish it in the beginning of November, and now we will take or need end of December to do this. So it's at least it's a big company, of course. So it's a bigger number of troubles and topics you have to take care of.
But and that's a very good point, Matthias. But the war makes everything relative. You know, I don't care. Of course, I care about my sugar beets, but I don't care as much as I cared like 10 years ago, for example. I could be really stressed from the weather. But since the war is going on, it makes everything relative. And when people ask me, how are you doing? I said, I'm alive, I'm healthy. And that's, that's the most important thing. And of course, you have to do business and you have to make money in business. But if there's a bad year, well, so be it. We are strong and resilient enough to recover and do a better year next year. Most important is that we are all people, that we have to support each other, that we have to support Ukraine, take care of our guys on the front lines, and everything else are challenges for later, I would say. So. It's all these weather issues and all other issues, they come much lighter to me than they came like 10 years ago, for example.
I agree. Completely right.
Absolutely agree with you. Thank you once again for your sincere conversation, for your sharing histories of your company, for your recommendations and advices. It once again shows us the resilience of companies in Ukraine. We're really proud to have German companies in Ukraine that are growing despite the wartime, and it's really a showcase your examples for other German companies to come and to invest right now, even during the war. Nevertheless, I wish you all good weather. I wish you to stay safe over the winter, and I really thank you for joining us today. I really want to thank you, Mr. Oleksandr, Mr. Roman, and the colleagues from Cherkasy Region's Administration, not only for joining us today, but also for supporting companies, supporting business, and supporting us. We really want to bring more German companies to the region, and we really appreciate your openness and your active position in business environments. Thank you very much for this webinar. I think it was a great conversation. I really appreciate you all here joining us, and I wish you a good day. And we will now close this webinar, and dear participants, in the end, you will see a short feedback form. It will take a couple of seconds for you to fill it in. So we appreciate your opinion on this. Thank you. I wish you a good day and goodbye. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.